vlog here for you. Hopefully y'all can hear this video well, because my car for some reason just sounds super loud. But I wanted to talk about getting a job nowadays. Getting a job today, it's gotten really hard to do. But of course there are like jobs that you can get easily. I'm not saying like you can get this like every single time, but like, you know, fast food jobs or just like eating like food. They'll hire really quick and easily. And maybe something like a grocery store, maybe they'll hire easily, maybe not. But there is like a good chance you'll get hired. But just getting like any other job, I'm talking about any other job, other than food and, you know, working at a grocery store, it's gotten so hard to do, especially in my area. In my area, there's not always like, you know, the smartest people. I'm not the smartest person on the planet. But a lot of people in my area, they just, as soon as they graduate high school, they're ready to go work. But you know, my generation has started doing college a lot. There's a lot more college than there was the previous generation. But all these jobs, they are like looking for people that have a PhD in like liberal arts to, you know, be a plumber or whatever. All these jobs are, they're looking for these people that are college graduates and have like all these degrees under their belt, but they have no experience. Whereas, you know, some people, they might not have it listed like, oh yeah, I don't have a college degree, but I've done this kind of work before, and they won't hire you. They'll hire the person that has the college degree. And I've heard like other businesses that I've worked for, you know, I'll be talking to like my boss or whatever, and they'll tell me that they have hired people that have like all these like college degrees, and they just were terrible at the job, like just absolutely terrible, and didn't last. Like, they didn't last for a couple weeks. And of course, then they start being more lenient in hiring other people that don't have college degrees, and they still work there. You know, I'm not saying that because you have a college degree that you can't do it. It's just, in my area, it's really common for businesses to try to hire a college student or a college graduate, and they're terrible at the job, whereas somebody who has no high schooling experience, they would still work there and they do the job well. But it's gotten to a point where there are so many unemployed people, and they're trying to find a job, and nobody will hire them because they don't have a college degree. And even if they do meet the requirements to get a job, they still will not hire them. So when I would be driving around, of course, I would see like some homeless people on the side of the road, and you know, they'd be asking for money or food or whatever. And used to, I would think like, oh, look at them, they're just bums, they won't work, and they're just, you know, begging money from people. And now, and I'm looking back and I see that's a terrible thing. And now I'm like, they probably do want a job. Not all of them, but they probably do want a job, but nobody will hire them because they just won't. I've applied for many jobs before, and I I meet the requirements. Like, I have a high school diploma. I've done like this kind of stuff before, like whenever they're asking for like electronic repair. I've done a lot of electronic repair for like years. You know, I've done all this stuff and I have all these requirements and just like a little bit more, and they just will not hire me. So it's really tough. And there was a couple points in my life where I was unemployed for a long time because no one would hire. And jobs have just gotten so picky, like just very, very picky about who they hire. So I really hope here soon, maybe, that businesses will start being a little bit more lenient on who they hire. And they won't even give them a chance. They won't give me a chance. They won't give a whole bunch of other people a chance. Like, not even an interview. Just, no, you don't meet the requirements, when I actually do meet the requirements. And I've talked to people before about, you know, how they got to the position that they're in now, like their job position. Like, how did they get there? And a good handful of people that I've talked to have all said they just kept applying and applying and applying until finally they just got tired of it, and they set up an interview, and now they're at the job that they're at. So if it's gotten to the point where you have to annoy the crap out of employees or employers to get to the job that you want, then I guess so be it. Then that's what we have to do now, is just keep applying until they finally give up and they let us have an interview, at least an interview. Businesses will just not do that bare minimum of just at least talking to somebody. And of course, I understand time is money. You know, if we're trying to do an interview, then that's costing their time, that's costing your time. But you're not going to hire people that way if you don't give them a chance. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I really just want to talk about this, and just, it really does bother me. And yeah.